Hello everybody, it's me John aka Nolsey, and you join me yet again for another TFNation related video. This video is going to be I'm going to be killing two birds with one stone. I know that's very cruel of me, but I have neglected to do my do's and don'ts, so I'm going to do that while I've got the time. So this is going to be two videos in one. I'm going to do my do's and don'ts, which is my response to Tony, son of SG1, and I'm also going to be doing my second information video. This will likely be my last of my information videos because there has been some more guest announcements for TFNation 2026 and there has been some certain things announced, so I'm going to talk about that. Anything else that is announced after this point of the video being uploaded, this video, I will as well. Obviously, I am going to be doing my pre-TFNation live stream on the 24th, I think, yeah, the 24th of July, which is a Friday evening, from about 7 PM UK time. And so anything else that is announced, because they are starting to release a lot of the schedule now, certain panels for the Friday, and they've announced certain things for the Saturday as well. So they're starting to roll out the scheduling and the different panels, the names for the different panels. That's going to be happening throughout the weekend. So that is going to be a talking point for the live stream. So, your do's and don'ts for going to to go into TFNation or to go into a convention in general. The do's first. The do's. Why am I doing this? The do's. You must do this or these things. Remember deodorant. First and foremost, it can get hot. It can get stuffy. There's a lot of people in one place. Deodorant is king. Hygiene is king. I'm not going to say too much about that, but yes, a big do is bring deodorant, which I always do. I always pack deodorant. Another do, shower regularly. If you are somebody like myself that unfortunately can get warm very, very quickly and very easily, and you end up getting very, very sticky and horrible very quickly because of the environment we're in. And the Hilton won't turn on the air conditioning because they want us to go to the bar and spend more money and overpriced beer and stuff. Yeah, go shower. Go take a shower. There's absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with taking a bit of time out for yourself. Retire to your hotel room, wherever it is, whether it's the Moxie, whether it's the Arden, whether it's whatever. Take a bit of time for yourself. Take yourself away from the hustle and bustle. If you feel you need to refresh yourself, if it probably is going to be quite a warm weekend, most likely. So it is always good to, keep freshened up and get showered. Another do is enjoy, get involved. If you're somebody that is going to TFNation 2026 for the first time, I would say try and get involved as much as you can. I know it can be incredibly hard if you're somebody that's like a solo traveler, because I do know there's a few people that I know of, friends of mine that go to TFNation that travel on their own. And if you're somebody that's traveling to Birmingham for TFNation 2026 on your own, it can be very daunting to get involved in conversations that's happening. So just try your best. A lot of the people that go to TFNation are really, really down to earth. To be quite honest, I don't think you'll be on your own for long, because somebody will see you and somebody will most certainly probably come up and drum a bit of conversation up with you out the blue. and then maybe invite you over to their table, and there you go. There'll be people playing games in the bar. There'll be people playing with toys. So there's always a lot of icebreakers to be able to approach and get involved to get the best out of your convention experience. If you're going to the concert, this is definitely going to be a do for me because there's a concert this year. Do be respectful. Please do be respectful at the concert. No inappropriate behaviour like touching people, because this happens a lot at concerts and in confined. When there's a bunch of people in a confined space, people end up getting touched inappropriately. So I'm not going to say that's going to happen, but it will be definitely do not do that. But that's also probably going to be in my don'ts as well. So, yeah, do not do that. So moving on to the don'ts is, I'm just going to repeat myself what I just said a moment ago. Do not do anything inappropriate in the concert. Be respectful of the artist. Be respectful of those that are on the stage. You have to be respectful of the staff, the TFNation volunteers. So, yes, don'ts. So my don'ts now is, don't be disrespectful when it comes to the concert, when it comes to inappropriate behaviour, things like that. Don't be a dick. That's as simple as I can do it. Just don't be a dick. Sorry, Grace, for using such colourful language, but yeah, do not be an arsehole. Everybody is there to enjoy themselves. Nobody is above anybody else. There is no such thing as this pedestal sort of situation. If you are somebody that has hundreds of thousands, if not millions of subscribers on YouTube or something, and another guy only has about 300 subscribers, there is no difference between the two. The only difference is it's a bigger number in audience that they usually have. But when it comes to TFNation, everybody is on the same standing. Everybody is on the same standing, no matter where they are, whether there's somebody that does, whether they're a comic book artist, a voice actor, a guest of honour, basically. So basically, from the guest of honour to the staff, to the volunteers, to all the other attendees that are going, we are all on the same standing. We are all the same. Nobody's on a pedestal. Nobody is above anybody else. Nobody's better than anybody else. So do not be an arsehole, which is my big thing to say in my do's and don'ts. I always say it all the time. Do not be an arsehole. Be respectful. Be respectful of the staff. If you need assistance with anything in particular, find a volunteer or one of the TFNation team. They're all wearing, they will be wearing t-shirts so you can identify them. If you need something specific, then go and see somebody and they will try and help you as best of their ability. And that's my do's and don'ts, really, is just be respectful and keep hydrated as well, as is a do. So I'm just going to say for do, keep hydrated, drink plenty of water as my do's. So keep hydrated. Take some time out for yourself, because there will probably be like a quiet area set up again this year, because it went down really positively last year. They have like a quiet area that's just off of the main dealer room. So if things get a little bit too hectic, you can take yourself away and for a few minutes and just gather yourself. It's going to be hectic on the Saturday, because Saturday is almost sold out for capacity. I know the concert is now sold out. The concert is totally sold out, so the concert's going to be busy. but the Saturday itself is limited ticket availability at the moment. So yeah, just be mindful of everybody's space as best as you can. Be respectful of others. Look after your friends that you're with. Look out for one another. And that's all I can really say for my do's and don'ts. If I end up repeating myself when it comes to some of these guests, I do apologise, because I don't think I've mentioned these guys yet in video format. At least not all of them. So if I do happen to repeat myself on one or two of these people, then it's one of them. Yeah, so the first guest announcement I'm going to talk about in this segment to kick things off is Mr. John Paul Beauvais. Mr. John Paul Beauvais will be at TFNation 2026. He's a comic book artist, colourist, and he does usually some really good panels when it comes to how he goes about colouring his comic books. He does some really good panels in relation to that. He's a really good guy, really nice guy. He's a friend of mine. He's a really talented artist. He will be at TFNation 2026. The next comic book guest announcement, I can't remember if I've mentioned his name previously, but anyways, we are going to be, well, at TFNation 2026, we are going to be joined by the amazing Mr. Jeff Senior. The amazing Mr. Jeff Senior will be at TFNation 2026. This guy is one of the greats in the UK comic book scene. If you're familiar with his works, he will be there. His panel will likely be really one of the best. He's probably going to do some really interesting panels throughout the weekend, no doubt. So yeah, Mr. Jeff Senior will be at TFNation 2026. The next guest announcement, comic book guest announcement, again, I can't remember if I mentioned him previously, but anyways, doesn't matter. I'm just making sure I've got the I's dotted and the T's crossed and everybody's mentioned as a guest. So the next comic book guest announcement that is going to be at TFNation 2026, that was also announced, is Mr. James Roberts. James Roberts was very recently announced within the past week or so. So James Roberts, he is I think I've mentioned him before. His name is ringing a bell now, but anyways, there he is. He is the other half of The Last Stand of the Wreckers, and a lot of the IDW continuity, Lost Light and things like that. So if you're familiar with Mr. James Roberts' works, he will be at TFNation 2026. The next guest announcement for TFNation 2026 is none other than Mr. Ed Perry. Ed Perry is actually is kind of like the resident TFNation artist. If you've seen some sort of artwork or something designed in relation to TFNation, the big thing is Mr. Ed Perry is probably behind it. He is a really great artist. He has worked on some comic book titles as well. He is a professional artist. He's a really nice guy. And yeah, so he's going to be there. He's also designed some of the official TFNation merch that is going to be on sale for TFNation 2026. So there's some new t-shirts that he has designed, some the artwork for. So yeah, there we go. So he will be at TFNation 2026. And the next guest announcement for TFNation 2026 is none other than another one of the greats of the comic book scene, the UK comic book scene, is Mr. Andrew Wildman. Yes, Andrew Wildman is going to TFNation 2026. Again, an incredibly talented artist and comic book artist and so on. So if you are familiar with his works, he will indeed be at TFNation 2026. He will probably be doing some panels as well. Usually, so yeah, I think there will be some really good panels this year for comic book fans. So definitely someone to check out. Now, moving on to some other guests that have just been announced within literally the last, pretty much this weekend over the past couple days. These are going to be additional people that will be in attendance. They are technically officially on the roster as guests, But they are going to be in attendance at TFNation 2026 as well as additional individuals that are going there. So one of these individuals that I am really looking forward to checking out, there is going to be a concert that is going to be performed. We're going to have a concert with Vince DiCola, the man, the legend that is Vince DiCola. So TFNation have just announced a singer that is going to be in attendance at TFNation 2026 for the concert. He's going to be performing alongside Vince DiCola. And that is none other than this guy, Jadel. Now, I do not know who this guy is. I've never heard of him before. But by looking into it, he does have some self-produced albums that he has worked on. So he has got some. He is a full-on musician, singer. There is a video in circulation through TikTok. So if you have a TikTok account or on social media in general, check out TFNation's social media account, because there is a video being circulated of how good of a singer this guy is. So he is really good. I think he's going to be a really great addition to TFNation 2026. He's going to bring the energy for the concert. He is a really good singer. So yeah, Jadel is going to be there and singing and performing alongside Vince DiCola. The next individual that has been announced that will be returning for TFNation 2026 is none other than the legend that is Mr. Chris McFeely. Mr. Chris McFeely is going to be at TFNation 2026. He will be doing the Matrix quiz as well. That has just been announced, of course, as well as probably be a part of the ClubCon segment as well on the Saturday. Chris McFeely, if you don't know who he is a YouTuber. He is basically, you could say, like a Transformers historian. He understands a lot of the history, and he has a really good knowledge of history when it comes to Transformers, like when it comes to the toys, the different continuities and everything. And he does his Transformers the Basics videos on YouTube, which is really well known for. So yeah, Mr. Chris McFeely will be at TFNation 2026. He's a really nice guy as well. So awesome. And the last person I'm going to talk about in this video, if anybody else is mentioned after I upload this video today, after this video is uploaded, okay, if anyone else is announced, any more announcements, I'm going to leave it until the pre-TFNation live stream, because it'll give us something to talk about. I just want to make sure all the guests are given a dedicated video announcement like this. But when it comes to any other announcements, like panels, different panels that are happening, the scheduling, things like that, we will probably find out a lot more of that next week, basically when we do the live stream. But this individual was just announced today of me recording this video, and he is a legend. It's not TFNation without this man. It is not everybody says it. It is not officially a TFNation without this man in attendance, and that is none other than Mr. Jim Sorensen. Jim Sorensen is going to be at TFNation 2026. I can't wait. He's a really nice guy. He is known for, as you can see, he has some really, he's a writer, and I think his title is historian. I don't know, Transformers historian. But he basically has a lot of published works, books in relation to Transformers, about when it comes to the packaging, when it comes to... He's also known for the Almanac, Almanac, I think is how you pronounce it, books, as well. So he is really awesome guy, a really talented guy. So he will be at TFNation 2026 as well. And I think that is it for now. Like I said, I am aware of other things that have been announced, but I am deliberately waiting until my live stream to talk about those things. So anything to do with the scheduling, I am going to leave until the to talk as a talking point for the live stream on the 24th of July. So yeah, TFNation 2026 is looking to be a great year. They've just announced a new singer, Jadelle, who's going to be performing alongside Vince DiCola in a concert. They've just, it's going to be really, really good. The voice actors are still very much apparent and still able to come at this moment in time. It's going to be a really good year. I have some really good high hopes for this year. I think it's going to be I think this year's TFNation is going to be a TFNation to remember for a long, long time. The year with Stan Bush still holds a lot of great memories for a lot of people, and I think this one's going to be a close contender to that one for sure. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I've also will be doing my do's and don'ts as well as my second information video for TFNation 2026. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I shall be back very, very soon. And do not miss the live stream on the 24th of July. Okay? Come along. I'll be live from 7 o'clock UK time on the 24th of July for my pre-TFNation live stream. Myself and a couple of other individuals will be joining me. It's going to be fun. See you there. See you at TFNation. And see you soon. Bye-bye.